We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need's right here. Make me sing along. Sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, moonlight on your naked skin. Summer's blind us to give in. Where you wanna go? Where you wanna go? Stars align onto your face. Pretty sweet, your sour taste. Make me sing along, sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, sharing all your deepest dreams, wonder what they really mean. Yeah, in the empty bottle lies all the answers. Write down all your memories, feel the things you wanna feel. Yeah, in the empty bottle lies all the answers. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here.
Hello, everyone. How are we? One in the chat if you can hear me. How are we doing? Hello, everyone. How are we? Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Super Bowl weekend. Happy Monday. You can hear me. Oh my goodness, 200 plus in the chat already. Thumbs up, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this Monday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever it is, where you are. I want to first of all start off by saying I am so sorry to everyone who came this morning, because I scheduled the podcast for 8:30 UK time. 8:30 a.m. UK time instead of 8:30 p.m. I think some of you realized, but I'm so sorry for everyone who came before, because it was scheduled wrong. And I think there was one person who was like, I was up at 2:30 a.m. Oh my God, you have no idea how bad I felt. You never have to be up that early for me, guys. I would never ask you to be up at that time, unless I randomly decide to like move to Australia, and then there's like I have no choice but to do the podcast at an awkward time. But thank you so much for coming. Oh my God, you woke up at like 2-3 a.m. I can see it in your comments. Okay. Right, there is a lot to I think I actually have the most slides that I've ever had since I started doing lives. There is a lot to get through. So, let me just get through your welcome comments. Um, Happy Valentine's to everyone. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure like everybody is here. Hello, Thrive with Harry and Meghan. Hello, Church Nelly. Hello, Lydia. Um, Hello, Lady Fur, Rosa. Dang, like literally the whole darn gang is here. Yeah, the whole gang is here. So, uh, let's see who else is here. Hello, Denise, Betty. I missed the comment because it went by. Oh, Sistren. I was going to miss 3:30 a.m. because my alarm goes off at 4:30. Oh god. You guys know that you can always watch the replay. Seriously. Oh, Patricia, Meghan's movie Data's Handbook is in Hallmark right now. I'm watching. Amazing. I have to go back and watch some of her older movies, and I definitely have to watch Suits. Um, see. Oh, it was Super Bowl night. Well, yeah, I guess most of you were awake anyway. Oh dear. Anyway, let's get started because there's a lot to get through. So it's Black History Month, and I haven't really like done anything talking about it. So there's a few things that I wanted to highlight in celebration of Black History Month. First of all, I came across this. Now, I've never heard of this before. This warrior queen called Ya Asantewa, and she was the queen mother of Ejisu in the Ashanti Empire, now part of modern day Ghana. She was an intellectual, a politician, a human rights activist, queen, and leader in the 1900s. She became famous for leading the Ashanti Rebellion against British colonialism to defeat the Golden Store, the royal and divine throne of kings of the Ashanti people, and the ultimate symbol of power in Asante. She was chosen by a number of regional Asante kings to be the warrior leader of an army of 5,000 men. This is the first and only example of a woman to be given that role in Asante history. That is absolutely incredible. And I definitely want to start doing more of this content going forward. You guys know that I did mention doing ancient royals, and I'd love to do more stuff like this, looking at the history of royals in ancient societies in other cultures as well, because we did have our own kings and queens across Africa before colonialism came. And I think even just for me, like I felt almost kind of ashamed that I didn't know about this. Obviously, I'm Zambian, but I'd also like to know like more about African history. So just wanted to highlight this since this is a royal channel, and here we have a warrior female royal from the continent. And also, this popped up on my feed, Naomi Campbell showing the first kind of side profile picture of her baby, looking amazing still. I mean, I don't know how old Naomi is. She's probably like in her 50s, but she's still looking like she in her 30s. Looking absolutely amazing. She did post last year a picture of the baby's feet, but here we see her the first time with baby on the side profile. And now she says that the child isn't adopted, that it is hers. What she didn't clarify was obviously, did she have the child? Was it surrogate? But I mean, I guess that's not really any of our business. But the child is like biologically hers. She did actually clarify this in the interview. So congratulations to Naomi. Um, and I also wanted to highlight the fact that it was a year ago today that this wonderful photograph was published, and the photographer reposted the photo. This is obviously the first snap that we saw of Harry and Meghan pregnant with Lily, peaceful under a tree. and just such a beautiful photograph. Of course, the British press decided to try and make an absolute scandal out of Harry's feet because, I mean, we just have to find a way of being an a-hole, don't we? But this is just like one of my favorite pictures of Harry and Meghan ever. I think this really just encapsulates where they are in their lives right now. And good on them, really. I'm really just really happy for them. Lily was born healthy, without any complications, thank goodness. And also, since it was Super Bowl weekend, I really wanted to give a shout out to Janet Jackson. Super Bowl weekend, or the day of the Super Bowl, has also become Janet Jackson Appreciation Day because we all know how Janet was played by the NFL, by the CBS executives, and pretty much by the whole of America. So, great performance by the whole gang there, Mary J. Blige, Dre, Eminem, 50, Snoop. It was a pretty good halftime. It's a bit more stripped back, I felt. I felt it didn't really have the grandeur in terms of like the staging and everything that we're used to. But when you have big stars like that, you can just strip it down and let them do their thing. And it was great to actually hear some nice hip hop classics, not the nonsense that we have nowadays. But I also wanted to give Janet her flowers because she 100% deserves her flowers. One of the greatest performers, and just was thrown under the bus. For me, I will not forgive America or the NFL or Justin Timberlake until Janet gets to come back and perform again. Even if it's just for a small feature, I will not be happy until that happens. But let me know what you guys and dolls thought of the halftime show. Did you like it? Were you underwhelmed? Did you think it was amazing? I'm never gonna sit here and compare anybody's halftime show to Beyonce's because Beyonce is Beyonce. And also, one more just really random shout out for Black History Month to Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes has just been killing it, writing amazing stories um, for for women in general, in the TV shows that she writes, but also for Black women. So I wanted to give a shout out to Shonda Rhimes, and I just had to because I'm absolutely obsessed with this at the moment. There is a show on Netflix that is number one on Netflix. It was written by Shonda Rhimes. It's called Inventing Anna, and it's about this fake socialite that basically scammed the whole of New York society. I watched all 9 episodes. I'm absolutely obsessed, and I'm recommending it to you because it's freaking amazing, and because it was written by Shonda Rhimes. So it's an incredible show. So just put it on your list and go watch it. And great work by Shonda again. So that's all of that out of the way. So let's get to business because I know what you guys want to get to. I know what you want to get to. Drum roll, please. Harry was at the Super Bowl with Eugenie. Oh my God. I lost my mind when I saw this picture. Now, there were so many people who were like, oh yeah, I thought that maybe Harry would show up. And I was like, really? Were you guys expecting Harry or Meghan to show up? Because to be honest with you, I hadn't even thought that they would for such a big event like this. I thought, they'd have their 100-inch plasma screen TV in the Montecito Castle and, have all the friends over having a cookout. I didn't think that either of them would be out. I definitely didn't think that Harry would be out with Eugenie. And I love this because it just dispels all of the BS that the British media tried to put out there about Harry and Eugenie and Meghan's relationship. Basically saying that, Meghan tried to push Harry to end his relationship with Beatrice and Eugenie, but we know that Beatrice and Eugenie have always been very, very close to Harry, and Harry is also very close to his Spencer side. And Eugene, I don't know so much about Beatrice because she's kind of kept a little bit more in the background, but we know that Eugenie and her husband and Harry and Meghan, well, Meghan spoke of them hanging out. She even talked about them going to a Halloween party, an apocalyptic Halloween party. She mentioned that on Ellen. So we know that Eugenie particularly has always been very close to Harry. And Eugenie is doing really what Prince Charles should be doing, and that's picking the better prince. Because let's not forget, once the Queen has passed, I know that a lot of people are saying, they may have done some kind of deal where Prince Andrew gets protected, but all bets are off once the Queen is gone. They're going to do whatever it is they want to do, regardless of what was agreed when the Queen was alive. And Beatrice is going to have to fend for herself. I don't think that those two girls are going to get much, especially if they choose not to comply with whatever it is that Charles and eventually William and Kate want to do. So I'm glad that Beatrice seems to be, Beatrice and Eugenie seem to be just branching out on their own. Eugenie did take part in the 40 times 40 project that Meghan did for her birthday, if you remember. She did also start a podcast helping, also that's meant to be focused on helping people in child trafficking. Now, at the time, I did say that it was a little bit tone deaf because of the timing, and I do stand by what I said. However, I will defend Eugenie and say at least she's trying to do something that's positive and trying to stand on her own 2 feet. So for that, I will give her credit, and for being loyal to Harry and Meghan, being loyal to her cousin. She's sided with the right brother. Okay, let's go to your comments because I know you've got a lot to say. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody who's single as a Pringle and with us this this fine evening afternoon. Eden's husband, you got burnt breakfast in bed. Burnt breakfast is better than no breakfast. Yes, Truth of Dilly and King Mansa Musa. I do actually want to do a video on him. So when I get to my ancient royals, definitely expect a video on him. Those videos are going to take a lot more time, so they're not a priority. But I will get to them. Yes, Bellissima, there are so many kings and queens in African countries, and that's something else that I said that I wanted to do, international royals. So, yes, warrior queen. Yes, Lydia, Naomi's baby is an absolute doll. Love the pics without the face. They are kids, I don't need to see them. Curious but not needed. Drives ego, press up the wall. Yeah, because they don't really get like a full frontal face shot. And it was the same with the Christmas photos of the Sussexes. Oh gosh. I mean, can you imagine what's going on at Kensington Palace right now? Because William went to Dubai, all the way to Dubai, and planted a whole tree. He planted a whole tree to help save the planet. And all of that shine got overshadowed by his brother at a football match. And I mean, I was listening to the morning shows in the UK, and I really didn't hear anyone mention Kate's bedtime story. Sorry, I'm trying to. You posted so many comments. I'm trying to get through all of them. Love Janet. Loved her 2-part series. I still need to watch it. I still need to watch that series. C-Mac loved it. Need a full concert now. Do you know what I would love? I would love more concerts or tours where lots of people or different artists actually come together, especially if you've got artists who are old timers, like the group of artists that we had now. Like, to be honest with you, especially having grown up with their music, I don't really want to hear new music. I want to hear all your old stuff. So, can we just get the greatest hits tour, please? That's what I want to see. Anna, we were jumping up and down. See, I don't know anything about American football, the actual game. I know about like all the drama. That's what I know about American football. Like, I know about the concussion issue. Um, but I can definitely see why people love it so much. I don't know if I would get so much into the game, but one thing I do admire about American football is just the whole atmosphere that you create. And one of the things that like I've always wondered is we have like the big Premier League. I don't even think that we have a halftime show. Like we don't have like super exciting things in the lead up to the game to get excited about. It's just like very bland and boring, like everything else. Joanne, Duchess, are they going crazy over there about Prince Harry and Princess Eugenie? Yes, they are. And actually, let me go back to that other slide. Can you see how many comments were on that article? 6.8. And I screenshot this earlier this morning, so there's probably more. 6.8 thousand comments about the other brother in the US at a football game. This is how irrelevant Harry is, right? You can absolutely bet they're going crazy. Okay. I love this for Harry and Meghan. They're just living their best lives, and I'm sure that Meghan was at home with the babies. Maybe she was with Jack, and they were watching at home. Yeah, simply Vigo. They were saying that Harry and his family's relationship are broken, and there he is. And I'm sure Eugenie's probably seen the baby. Yeah, Beatrice is smart to stick around the Sussexes, as she and her husband might need someone to guide them in having a productive business. Yeah. I don't think that Beatrice and Eugenie are trying to stick around to see what peanuts Charles and William will give them. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Samuel. I believe the sisters will have to rely on the Sussexes as time moves on. Their father have tarnished them. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're going to have to separate themselves. Like, it's not their fault their father is the way he is, but, you know, you don't choose your parents, but you get to decide where uh, you know, how your destiny plays out. Oh, Maggie, Eugenie might be in Los Angeles because her art firm is having a show in Los Angeles next week. Her husband is home with Meghan. Yeah, probably. Thanks for mentioning that. I didn't know that. Lord, so many comments. Okay, let me scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Okay. Oh, we can move on because I think I got through most of them. And yeah, so what else was Harry getting up to? He got to go backstage and he met, I believe this is the girl who sang the national anthem, living his best life. And also, apparently he was in the locker room with the Rams. There was I think it was a journalist who tweeted this. I don't know how true this is. We haven't got pictures. But it wouldn't surprise me if he got to say hello to the winners. He was a VIP. So there Harry is, living his best life, completely unbothered and happy. I love that she said she even curtsied in her tracksuit. I don't know if Harry or Meghan, I can't imagine them wanting anyone to curtsy for them. And Harry usually just says, like, just call me Harry, but she was probably just being polite. I thought that was very sweet of her. Yes, Shirley, anyone with common sense would jump ship while they still have time. This is why I keep saying, like, Catherine just needs to get on that boat, okay? Get on that boat and start paddling. Like, quit with your pimp mother. You have tunnel vision, and this royal ship is going nowhere other than to the bottom of the ocean. So save yourself now, girl. Yes, Bonnie, Harry does look great. California Sun is doing him well. Yes, Laura, Harry is looking handsome. It's like every time we see him, he just looks better and better, happier and happier, more relaxed. I want him to like beef up and be like proper bodybuilder with like long lumberjack hair. Send them really crazy. Get that ponytail that they've been talking about him having, which he doesn't have. But just to piss them off, I want him to like jack up and like have really long lumberjack ginger hair that goes into a ponytail. Raven, I thought I was the only one that called Madam a pimp. No, pretty much everyone does. You're not the only one. Okay, so that was Harry living his best life. And guess what everybody was asking? Where's Meghan? Where's Meghan? Because we need our clicks. We need our advertising revenue. And as Anne Boleyn, who's amazing on Twitter, by the way, pointed out, Meghan Markle haters. I wish Meghan Markle would just go away forever. Also, Meghan Markle haters. Why isn't Meghan with Prince Harry at the Super Bowl? Where's Meghan? So you wanted her to disappear, and now you want her. I honestly believe that Meghan haters have this weird duality. Oh, we have a new member, Golfing Mum 68. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Members Club, darling. And happy Monday, happy Valentine's Day. 700 of you in the chat, guys and dolls. Thumbs up, thumbs up. So as I was saying, I think that Meghan haters have this weird duality where they have never seen excellence and work ethic, beauty, like they saw in Meghan. And they're jealous, but at the same time, they wish they could have what she has. They wish they could be her, I think, a lot of them. So they can't take their eyes away. They can't take their eyes away from somebody that they hate. It's a whole sickness. Colleen, haters eat your hearts out. May H&M succeed in all their endeavours. Amen. Harry looks polished, fresh, and put together. Cookies and cream. How does Snoop still look the same? Amazing. Yeah, they've all aged pretty well. Yes, Sussex truly reside in the haters' heads. Like the haters have whole real estate plots just for Harry and Meghan in their minds. Question for the UK people: how was Kate Booktown reading? I have no idea because I didn't listen to it. I have no idea. I'm not gonna give them that type of attention and viewership. I believe that it was on one of the Sky channels, and I don't have Sky, so even if I wanted to torture myself, I wouldn't have been able to watch it. Sorry, but I'm sure it's online somewhere if you want to watch it. Hello, Marilyn Kin. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Lizzie, there's that saying like on Instagram, you may not give me a like, but I see you, doll, ping my stories. They can't get enough of Meghan, this obsession. Yes, oh my God, Lizzie, you have literally described so many people. If any of you are listening, because I know some of you might be listening, who are in your stories, watching what you do. They never interact with your post. They never like a post. They never comment on a post, but they're there watching you. Oh, hello. We have another new member, NRB. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Valentine's Day. Wow, that's 2 new members in one chat. Thank you so much for joining. Everything that you contribute to this channel, guys and dolls, it just goes straight back into the channel. The next thing that I'm hoping to do for the channel is just get a much better microphone and also sort out the situation with the clicking, because right now I have to use the mouse pad, and I know that some of you can't hear the clicking and it annoys you. So that's the next thing that I'm going to do is to sort out sound, basically. So thank you very much, because it really, really does help. Every little bit helps. But even you just coming and sitting and watching and letting the ad revenue go up also helps. So thank you. And you cracked me up with the suggestion that Prince Harry should grow a ponytail. Do you know what it is? It's because I love men with long hair. That's what it is. Like, it's just a thing that I have with long hair. You know, if he's Caucasian, I love very, very long wavy hair. If it's a brother, I like really long dreads. I just like long hair. So yeah, I'm gonna stop fantasizing about Meghan's husband because it's inappropriate. Yes, Treva Dilly. They want to be her. They are fascinated by Meghan. I mean, do you guys remember how crazy they went just because Meghan's house was clean? Like, whose house looks like that? Like, everybody's house should look like that if you clean your house. Yes, it's a mansion, so it's bigger, but I mean, there was the interior of Meghan's house is pretty minimalist, like, you know, that Spanish kind of theme that all those houses in Montecito have. So yeah, obviously it's bigger, but it's so minimalist that you could probably replicate it in your own home. It's not like she has a golden piano like other people we know. Yes, Joyce. Harry didn't leave Meghan at home. Meghan chose to stay at home. She's his wife, not his possession. Exactly. These people need to get a clue. Yeah, Sharon, Meghan is busy producing Pearl. She's got other things to do. Yes, Roseanne, I honestly believe that the haters have some kind of personality disorder. I mean, there are celebrities that I deeply dislike. I don't spend all day thinking about them, on Twitter about them, writing about them. And also, oh my gosh, before I forget to mention it, do you know what else I don't do? I don't go into spaces that fans of a particular person have set up. So this is what happened around about half an hour ago in there's this thing on Twitter called Twitter Spaces, basically like voice rooms where people can talk. And there was a woman that came into the chat, and straight away, guys, I knew this was a troll. I knew this was a troll. I messaged one of the moderators and said, can you please check this woman's feed? Because I was looking at her feed and I'm seeing all of these like things that she's tweeting about Trump and like all these conspiracy theories and stuff. So I knew straight away that she was a troll. And then she started telling this weird story. And in the middle of the story, she's like, she mentions Diana and she was like, yeah, anyway, about Diana, like Diana was never really that pretty. But anyway, and then she carries on telling the story, and I was like, what? Did she just say that Diana wasn't really that pretty? Like, what is this woman talking about? And then she starts telling this really weird story that just goes off on this weird tangent. And then so one of the moderators like stopped her like in the middle because it was getting really, really weird. And she was like, are you actually a fan of Harry and Meghan? And then the woman's like, well, Harry's kind of annoying, but at least he was trying to do something. Meghan, yeah, I just don't like. And then that's when the moderators cut her off. But I swear to God, the second she started talking, I knew she was a troll. And this is how obsessed these people are. Like, they will come into Sussex Squad spaces and listen and talk. What was even more interesting was that she had a very, very thick British accent. She was definitely British, and I do believe that she was Caucasian. And I just found it so hilarious that she came into our space like that and actually tried it. I mean, why? We know why those type of women are single. That's all I have to say. Um, anyway, back. Let's get back on track. Meghan is Bonnie. Meghan is not on view. Her enemies hate her, and they are outraged when they don't see her. Make it make sense. Exactly. Um, yeah, Andreen. Maybe she doesn't even like football, and she's just nursing. Like, leave her alone. Yes, Avery. They're using her as a diversion. I don't think that in their weird minds they were expecting the backlash from Camilla's whole Queen Consort thing. Um, yeah, traditionally, why do the haters want to know where Meghan is? Why is so obsessed with me? Literally. Um, yes, Daddy Dragon. I love long hair on men as well. I just think it's so. I don't know. There's something that's so like romantic about it. Have you ever seen those old romance novels from the 80s where they had like Fabio and like there's this woman like on his chest and his wind is like blowing in the hair. Sorry, his hair is blowing in the wind. Yes, we love the long hair. Um, yes, Avery. It's bizarre that a woman who lives in another country that doesn't take a dime from them is their main focus of hate. Mm, yeah, Amberlynn really brings the heat on Twitter. You should definitely follow her. Yeah, Movo. Like, just as well as Valentine's Day, and we can talk about relationships. Like, I've always said that when you're confident in your relationship, you can obviously you're a team, but you can be your own people on your own. You know, like you don't have to be attached by the hip. I find that weird, and I couldn't handle that in a relationship. I need my space. And let's be honest, they're only worried about not seeing Meghan because they wanted the clicks. Meghan at the Super Bowl would have been a huge story. Huge story. Because let's face it, the other royals just aren't that interesting. I mean, nobody's talking about Kate's bedtime story. Aura, I just love when you say that ship is not going anywhere but the bottom of the sea. You're so right. Jealous and racism in their has been and is their destructiveness. Absolutely. Okay. I'll go on to the next slide and then I'll go back to your comments in a sec. And yeah, there was this. It was like a hit piece in the Sun. And I think this really just goes to show, I feel like it follows on nicely from the last comment, why the royal family ship is sinking. And there was a hit piece in the Sun about Meghan and some of the things that they were writing about some of the things that apparently made her so unsuitable in comparison to Camilla, because I mean that's how stupid they are. They're actually comparing her to Camilla for the monarchy, in according to Tom Bower, that the fact that she was educated, the fact that she's a feminist, the fact that she supports Black Lives Matter, the fact that she worked hard in school, and the fact that she had a career. And just listen to the words that he uses: undereducated expert as a horsewoman, a poor cook, keen to do good with lots of old friends. She's grounded and not grand. So he's talking about Camilla here. He's talking about Camilla, undereducated. um, as is customary in her circle, she is a no-nonsense, self-deprecating, plain speaker with a good sense of humor, but critically, when necessary, displays a stiff upper lip. As expected, the difference between the Coswalks and California means that Meghan is in every way the complete opposite. As a pace-setting, politically correct, woke feminist, a supporter of Black Lives Matter, Meghan has nothing to talk um, about with Camilla. Yes, Meghan has nothing to talk with about Camilla because Camilla is basic. So please don't try to wrap this up in some way to make it seem like Camilla's basicness is somehow above Meghan. and because she is just basically a bland mute who does what she's told, that she's somehow better than Meghan. And she also goes on to sorry, he also goes on to say, unlike Camilla, she worked hard at school. Oh, so this now he's talking about Meghan. Unlike Camilla, she worked hard at school and after university achieved some success as an actress. To her credit, she created an imaginative website, The Tig, promoting herself and money-earning products. So what he's basically done here is said that because Camilla is plain and bland, she's more suited to be a royal. So he's trying to put down Meghan, but what he's actually doing is putting down Camilla. It is pathetic. And this is exactly why this institution is going to fail. No imagination and no experience in creating anything of substance. Okay, to your comments. If you see trolls, mods, feel free to block them. Yeah, Black Queen, that person in the chat, it may have been it may have been someone from the royal swamp. A lot of the squaddies who were in the space were like, maybe it's like Carol Middleton undercover, because I've never heard Carol Middleton. Well, I've never heard Carol Middleton speak. Yeah, I'm so sure that haters listen to our spaces. I'm sure they're here in the podcast. Thank you for the ad revenue. I'm sure they're here. Maybe it was Angela 11. If it was Angela 11, we'd know because her voice is so annoying and recognizable. Yes, Jean. I love men with long hair and beards and moustaches. I like beards, but I'm not crazy about moustaches. Like if it's cut in relation to the beard, but I don't like, you know, that Monopoly man moustache. I'm not about that life. I like a nice trimmed moustache, and it has to like match the beard. Your husband has long hair, beard, and moustache. Yes, it is hot and sexy and very masculine. If there's a troll, then please do delete them, mods. Um, if you want to be added as a moderator, please put an animal emoji in the comment section. And if I recognize your name and you've been around for a while, I'll make you moderator. So put an animal emoji in the comment section if you want to be added as a moderator. God, almost 800 of you in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Carolina, yes, Meghan's happy with her life. She doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. The royals are giving dusty. They're giving dingy mildew. Febreze is not cleaning. They're gonna need the whole Febreze factory to clean those dusty ass castles for real. Oh, and something else that I missed that I don't have it on the slides, but when William was in Dubai, there's a video going around on Twitter of basically like one of the handlers comes towards the crowd and like tries to start hyping, like he's waving his arms around, trying to get them to hype up, and they kind of let out this half efforted scream, and then William walks past, and it just shows you that, you know, the hype around the other royals has to be forced. Whereas, can you imagine if Harry and Meghan, or even just one of them, showed up to Dubai, showed up to the Middle East, like everybody would be lining the streets to want to come and see them. You wouldn't have to hype the crowd up. We all saw that footage of them on the balcony when they were on tour, and we know that that was the moment when the royals got very jealous. So Harry and Meghan just had the it factor. Yes, Irene, short hair, moustache, and beard for me all the time. I like clean shaven too. Yes. uh, Oof, so many of you in the comment section today. Melissa, this is unbelievable. Someone should post Mariah Carey video obsessed from Meghan to her haters so they can listen. I don't even think they know how obsessed they have become. No, I don't. The fact that she would come in, and it was just so random as well. But you could definitely tell that she was leading to kind of say something negative. The moment I heard her say, she met Diana and Diana wasn't even that beautiful, I was like, "No, you're a troll, mate. You're an absolute troll." Maybe it was Yankee Wally or like Murky Meg. Um, mm, oof, on a marathon. Um, okay, I think I have to block someone. Okay. Yes, Sharon, the open racism astonishes me. Well, not anymore for me personally. It's just like I just expect it now. Oh, thank you very much to Vignette Valentine. What a lovely name you have. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Yes, Cheryl. I don't think they realize that the more they talk about Harry and Meghan, the more popular that Harry and Meghan become. Still haven't figured that out. But on to some other matters. Um, somebody also posted this. So I wasn't aware until somebody actually posted about this in our last chat that um, the trash tabloid press had sent a so-called royal expert over to Montecito to pretty much just spy on Harry and Meghan. And the so-called Montecito royal correspondent managed to miss Harry attending one of the biggest events on the American calendar of the year. And you can probably see why. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like he needs some digestive biscuits and a cup of tea and should not be running around Montecito trying to stalk people. And as one Twitter commentator pointed out, Princess Eugenie looked so comfortable with Harry at the Super Bowl. And whilst she looked like someone forced her to attend the Kate Middleton Carol show, the Rangers and the media are upset because this just shows that there are some royals who are still close with Harry and Meghan. And I have to say, watching the interactions between Eugenie and Kate and William at the Carol show, it was very, very awkward and it did feel very, very forced. And somebody else said the Christmas Carol attendance really sold delusion to the derangers. Did they forget Eugenie and her family lived in Frogmore Cottage? She still took part in Meghan's 40/40 campaign. This picture collapses the narrative. He is estranged from family. And it's why I love it. Because they've kept on wanting to push that narrative and it's just not true. Yeah, Mary, I believe that Meghan would have gone out of her way to be kind to Camilla because that's just the type of person she is. But Camilla comes across to me as someone who's very, very bitter, very jealous. And I think that she would have seen a lot of Diana in Meghan and disliked Meghan. Lerock, loose women nip and tuck, geriatrics bench warmers think Meghan should follow Camilla's footsteps. How? I'm trying to make sense of it. Honestly, those women on Loose Women, they are just the most bitter bunch of Bettys that I have ever seen. They're the type of women who just really resent other women for no other reason other than they're jealous. So I wouldn't pay attention to them. Golfing Mum 68. You're from Perth, Australia. Can you say hello to my ex-boyfriend, please? Because he lives in Perth, Australia. Uh, Camilla. Oh gosh, I was about to read. I was about to read J Law's comment, but it's just a little bit too deep. You're not really being shady today. Uh, okay, let me scroll a little bit more. Wow, like you are really coming for Camilla in the comment section. I don't even know if I can say half of the stuff that you're saying. I don't want to get Tasha Cade. Mm, yes, Church Nelly. Meghan is not a husband stealer, and that's why they don't like her. They've got nothing that they can, um, or nothing legitimate that they can actually hate her for. Oh, thank you so much, Rose. Thank you for dropping by, and happy birthday. Sorry, not happy birthday. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Daphne, and to everybody listening. 800. Wow, we might actually break 1,000 today, folks. We might actually break 1,000. Okay, on to the next thing. Yes, the coronation. So, to be honest, I just find this to be so tacky because the Queen, as far as we know, is not yet dead. As far as we know, isn't dying. So the fact that we've got PR spin coming out about Charles's coronation, I just find to be quite tacky. Imagine your son going to the press and talking about his coronation, him and his side chick's coronation, um, before you're dead or before it's known whether or not you're ill. Because mind you, even when the Queen does pass, the coronation wouldn't be for at least another year, at least, from what I understand. So, what is even the point of talking about a coronation now? Unless there is something going on with the Queen that we don't know. And I highly suspect that if they are suddenly talking about Charles's coronation, then there might be. The other thing that could be going on is, as we know, for a very, very long time, there has been a push to position Kate as Queen or Queen Consort, and I do believe that Kensington Palace were attempting to step over Charles and Camilla and get on that throne a lot faster. So another reason that they may have come out with this and pushed so hard for Camilla the Queen Consort, um, and that Camilla being Queen Consort is supported by the Queen, is a pushback to Kensington Palace. So this could also be just them trying to seal the deal and say that yes, Charles is going to be coronated, he will be king, and Camilla will be queen consort, pretty much quashing any chance and any more PR attempts by Kensington Palace to push Charles and Camilla to the side. What's even more interesting about this talk about the coronation is the fact that they're claiming that it will be shorter and cheaper. And you know what would be a lot more shorter and cheaper? If they just did it in their house and did it over Zoom and didn't do all of the ridiculous pomp and pageantry that's going to cost an absolute fortune. You know, what does cheaper mean exactly? It was going to cost 80 million and it's now only going to cost 40 million. I mean, what exactly do you mean by cheaper? Because I mean, if you go back to the Queen's coronation, it was a whole thing, y'all. Like, I actually encourage you to go back and watch it. It was a huge ceremony. And I can imagine that costing, but bearing in mind that Kate and Williams cost something within the region of 75 million or something like that. So if they were going to have the whole coronation, I can imagine it would probably rack up even more than that. Maybe going close to 90 odd million, all of the security, the blockading of roads, the you know, all of the military that would have to be brought in, all of the Queen's guards. So to me, if they are going to have any type of coronation ceremony, it should be incredibly slimmed down. There shouldn't be anyone, you know, of any notoriety invited. Just have it in a very small chapel. Oh, thank you very much to Miss Y Senior for the super sticker, and thank you for joining us and happy Valentine's. Appreciate it. So yeah, they're trying to push the narrative that it's going to be cheaper, but you know what does cheaper mean? A couple million less than what it would have cost? Quite frankly, I don't see why. If they want all the pomp and pageantry, they should just pay for it themselves. pay for it themselves. The Duchy of Cornwall estate gets millions. So why shouldn't they pay for it? But of course, they don't want to set a precedent. And you've got Rob Jobson, this palace mouthpiece, um, talking about Prince Harry and his memoir, the memoir that isn't out and that he has no idea what's in it, and how it's going to rock the monarchy to its foundations. Well, how would it rock the monarchy to its foundations, Rob, if the monarchy has not done anything wrong? You see the way they always tell on themselves. And he goes on to say, if this is true, he really has turned out to be a pathetic man. Time to grow up, Harry. With every passing day, your tantrums and mudslinging become less relevant. I mean, the amount of energy that they have for Harry and Meghan, but never the same amount of energy for Andrew. And once again, for the haters listening, because I know some of you are listening, Harry speaking his truth is not mudslinging. And I don't think that Harry is going to say anything that is first and foremost untrue. I think he's going to speak his whole truth, and the whole truth is going to be ugly. And I really does hope he goes in, not because um not because I want the drama. I don't wish drama on anyone, even the people who I don't like, but because if he doesn't speak his truth the way his mother did, the royals will try to rewrite history. The only reason we know how bad it was for Diana was because she spoke her truth, the truth, and nothing but the truth, regardless of how ugly that truth was. There were three people in this marriage. They tried to stop her from doing a lot of the humanitarian work that they wanted to do. We know everything that she said in that interview. So I hope that Harry really does go in. Not because I want the drama, but because if he doesn't, they will rewrite his history for him. Rachel Son, while all these mind readers and fortune tellers should use their skills to help their country. Absolutely. Let's simply Vigo. That's why they don't want them to return to the UK, because all the attention will be on them and the rest will be jealous. Yes. I mean, they're all the way on the other side of the ocean, just watching a football game, minding their own business, and they still make the news. 6.8 thousand comments on that article, folks. I don't think Kate's story reading got that many comments on that article. And what was even more funny is the amount of comments on that article about Harry and Eugenie saying that they don't care. You don't care, but you went to an article about them and you left a comment. Please. They said that Madame Duchess was absent on purpose to overshine Mumbelina. Well, if she had showed up, they would have still said that she overshadowed her. Church Nelly. Church Nelly, I'm going to put you in timeout. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Church Nelly. You made me feel better about being single as a Pringle, because I know that I have all of you and comments like that, so I don't feel alone. Yes, Melita, why don't they focus on the future monarchy? Stop focusing on the ones that left. There was a squaddy in the spaces that said something very interesting, that it's almost like watching two corporations, right? So the firm, the Unroyal Mafia being one corporation, and Harry and Meghan and what they're doing being another. And when you've got two big corporations that are have a similar brand, sorry, not a similar brand, but are associated with each other, one cannot one is always going to take attention from the other. So you've got a situation where obviously the royals keep going after Harry and Meghan because they need to take down the other corporation because they know as long as that other corporation is thriving, they're going to be taking the attention away. And it's why they keep trying to bring down Harry and Meghan. The problem is that the more they go after Harry and Meghan, the worse that looks in the eyes of the world, and particularly the American audience that they're trying to get a hold of. But let's just be honest, America was really only ever interested in Diana. And any excitement that America had about William and Kate has pretty much been squandered because they haven't done anything of substance and they haven't nurtured that relationship with the American audience. So why would they expect that they would get any fanfare from the American audience now, or that they can go after Harry and Meghan and not get pushback from the American audience that loves Harry and Meghan? Anywho, yes, Lizzie, people forget that Eugenie knew about Harry and Meghan way before the press hit. If ever she was going to be an inside rat, she would have leaked things back then. That is such a good point. They can't understand that H&E are family. And you know, a lot of people have criticized Eugenie because she didn't come out and say anything in support of Harry and Meghan. But I would imagine that Harry probably would have told her not to, the same way Meghan told her friends not to say anything. When that People article came out, they did that by themselves. And just throughout the whole time that Meghan was a working royal, you really didn't hear from her friends. It's only after the Oprah interview came out that's when they all started speaking, and I think they felt more free to speak. And Meghan even said herself that she would often tell her friends not to speak because she thought that she was being protected by the institution. So I don't dislike Eugenie for not saying anything about what was going on because it would have put her in a more awkward position. And I think that if Eugenie does want to say anything, there will be a right time for her to say something. And I actually think that it would be a lot more powerful maybe one day in the future if than her saying something now, especially when she's still very much under the thumb of the firm. Yes, Julia, pretty and popular provoked hatred, even though it's not even your fault that you're pretty and popular. Um, okay, I'm trying to look through what you're saying. One of the British papers are hoping William and Kennett's Caribbean tour will stop those countries wanting to ditch Betty as head of state. Of all the people to send. Well, the thing is, they've really got nobody else to send. They send Charles and Camilla. You're just going to get talk about Diana. They send Sophie and Edward, and nobody's going to know who they are. They send Anne, nobody's going to know who she is, especially if they send them to the Commonwealth countries. So the only people that they know are William and Kate. The problem with William and Kate is we know that it was William that called Archie a tar baby, and Kate can't give a speech without mumbling. So they've really got no one else to send. Maybe they should just send the Queen's corgis. They'll get an audience. Yeah, Josie, I don't even watch Loose Women. They're just really angry women um, that have lived their whole lives on this island and they now have to stare in the face of excellence. And that excellence is American. And they hate that even more. American and a woman of color. Oh my gosh, how love is 7:30 a.m. in Australia. Really? Wow. Okay. I'm gonna speed it up. There's still quite a bit to get through. But we'll speed things up. So yes, that's all the talk about the coronation. At the end of the day, it's gonna cost the taxpayer money. I don't care how cheap they want to say it's gonna be. is still coming out of the taxpayers' purse strings. While, and I think yes, the taxpayers' purse strings that are drying up in the UK because of situations like this. Sadiq Khan just announced a huge hike in prices for tubes and bus fare. And let me just say, as someone who pre-pandemic took public transport almost every single day, it is so expensive now. Transport is almost public transport is almost as expensive as having a car. I think it's actually beginning to get more expensive than having a car. A monthly travel card, like for example, for myself, because I live in zone 4, so I live a little bit more further out towards the outskirts because I want to be by the forest and the lakes. So I live in a zone 4 area, and so I have to go into town, and it was costing me like £200 a month. £200 a month just on travel. And now they're going to hike the prices again. You've got the cost of goods going up, price hikes. So all this pomp and pageantry, while people are literally being squeezed out of their living expenses. And it's not just travel costs or food costs, it's national insurance is going up, the cost of gas and electric is going up, everything is going up. And then you've got the absolute the economic devastation, which is only now being measured from all of the lockdowns. Now they're basically saying that a lot of the lockdowns actually caused more economic devastation than they had anticipated. So all of this is going on while they're planning an overpriced party for the tampon king and his side chick. Okay. Federica, just to be horrible, I'm going to wish her the Queen lives for 10 more years. Oh, I love that. I will double that and say I hope she lives for like 20. That would be something, won't it? Can you imagine? Like all of this talk about her catching Mr. C. Oh, and yes, before I forget, because to be honest, I don't really care. But yes, the side chick caught Mr. C. Now the strange thing is that so they're saying that she has it, but she was around people. She went to numerous events. She went to a children's event. She went to a community event, and I mean, it. What to even say? I've said this so many times on this podcast. Like with this whole situation with Mr. C and rich folk, it's like one rule for us, one rule for them. And yeah, apparently, and this is just what I read. She is triple jabbed. But yeah, I find it very, very strange that there are just suddenly all these stories coming out about Camilla has Mr. C, the Queen had it, Charles had it. It's just all very weird. I'm even starting to wonder if they did actually have it, or if that's just a distraction or a way of getting sympathy. Because if they did have it, why were they out and about? And why, if Camilla knew that Charles had it, why wasn't she isolating? And why did Charles then go to meet the Queen? It's all just very weird. But yeah, yes, Frederica, I hope that she lives for another 10, 20 years just to draw it out, just so Charles has to wait a little bit longer. Black Queen, we literally don't know what is going on with the Queen. We don't know. Yeah, Charles, the Queen might actually outlive Charles. Rory, let Charles have his coronation alongside his cohort. That's what Sonny called her, isn't it? Cohort. That will make his reign one of the shortest compared to his 70 and plus king in the waiting. Yes. Oh, thank you very much, Patrick Thompson. I think your name is new. I don't know if I've seen your name. Thank you very much for your super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Um, and happy Valentine's to you. Yeah, I mean, imagine waiting your whole life just to wear your mummy's big fluffy hat with the big giant jewel that was stolen from India. That's literally what he's been waiting for 70 years. Um, Lerock, that's simply what he's doing. The Middletons chomping at crazy hype campaign, thinking Charles will allow them to lampoon him. Well, I'm pretty sure that we have not seen the last of the Kensington Palace Cara Middleton campaign to take the throne. I think that they have some big guns in the closet, and they're waiting for the right time to pull them out because Charles has a lot of dirt on him. You know, let's not forget how close he was with Savile, and I'm pretty sure that William had something. So the circus is just beginning. Okay, let's get through your comments. Crystal J. Harry said the book is about the man he has become, not about the royal family and their nasty secrets. Well, the book could well be very soft and um, leave out a lot of the nasty stuff. Even though I don't know if the publisher would have parted with such a big amount of money um, if they weren't promised some juice. But for all we know, this particular book could be very soft and something that's a little bit more focused on becoming, obviously who Harry has become. But we know that Harry always likes to encapsulate ideas that speak to everyone and to everybody's experiences. And for all we know, there could be a whole nother book coming where he really goes in. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Yes, certainly. Of course, he wants a huge coronation, but right now, it's just not appropriate. It really is not appropriate, given the amount of money that that we're going to spend on the Jubilee. Yes, Rose, Zoom will be appropriate. They could stream it on TikTok or something. Yeah, Mary, when their subjects don't have heat or food, it's shameful. Yeah, they don't want to admit that they screwed up with Brexit and that the tourists are avoiding Shutter Island like the plague. Well, mind you, for most of the last 2 years, even if you wanted to come to the UK, you had to pay like £1,000 or something just to stay in a quarantine hotel. Why would you pay that? And then you come and then it's rainy and cold. No, thank you. Um, yes, pulling that taxpayers' money, my taxpayers' money. Honestly, I don't want to even see the financial balances of the United Kingdom right now. Um, you guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but a lot of the Mr. C related contracts were just given to friends and family of politicians, and a lot of the contracts were not actually legitimate. So money that could have genuinely been used to, train medical staff and actually do good things for the healthcare system were just wasted and squandered. And we're talking hundreds of millions going into the billions. So I don't even want to know exactly what the financials are of the country right now. But I know that it will definitely show itself in taxes and national insurance. And are those Copycat and Billiam already on tour? The last I read about their people didn't want them to visit their countries when they settle down, forcing people to love them. In a way, I kind of want them to go on tour just because I know that it's going to be an absolute circus. And I feel like them going on tour and people in those countries letting their feelings really be known is going to be the medicine that they need. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl. Rob Jobson is projecting. Oh, thank you very much, Kat Harlem. You said I hope the Queen doesn't outlive Charles. I'd rather have a King Charles versus King Will. Not. In addition, I'm ready for the unraveling that will occur when she passes. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm honestly just hoping that um whatever happens, or if anything is going to happen, please just don't let it happen before June because I'm hoping that I'm going to be away and off of this island by June. Um, so I don't have to deal with any of the dramas. I can just pretend that it's not happening. Connie, the Queen's coronation in today's money costs 43 million. Holy moly! So can you imagine what a coronation? So, oh gosh, so how much would a coronation today, like now, cost then? Jesus! Wow! Thank you for pulling that up for us. 43 million. Oh gosh, people can barely afford to get to work because the money to get to work is gonna cost how much? I mean, can you imagine if you're like a young student, right, and maybe you've got a retail job that costs, sorry, that pays you, I don't know, maybe like 1,500 a month, and then you have to spend 200 just on transport to get to that retail job. Okay, maybe for a student you get a discount, and maybe it's just £100, right? But maybe you're living by yourself and you have to pay rent, and then you still got to buy food. You still got, and you still want a life. This is one of the reasons why, one of the many reasons why I'm leaving, because cost of living, it just doesn't there's just no justification for it because you're literally just working to live. Um, Andreen, your mudslinging and tantrums are telling me you really want Harry to pay for your ham sandwich. Ah, gosh. Okay, let's go through. I want to try and get through your comments before I go to the next slide. Yes, Denise. This is when Meghan's contacts could have come in handy, as we see lots of billionaires that could have brought jobs to Britain. We America is have record low employment, remote industries. Exactly. See, this is they don't think like this, Denise. They just don't think like this. Do you know what I would actually love if Harry and Meghan, now that we know that they're investing in different companies, can you imagine if they invested in lots of UK companies that went on to become like big $100 million, $1 billion unicorns? Would love that so much. Yes, and yes, Ginger. They keep on saying that Harry and Meghan are becoming less relevant, but they cannot help writing about them. Um, Samuel, coronations, funerals, weddings, etc., is how the British royal family keep the public pacified and justify the money they receive. But it's going to be more and more difficult now, especially as people are struggling and suffering. Traditionally, I hope Harry spills all the tea, the milk, the soda, the beer, the wine, the martini, the margarita, the tang, the Kool-Aid, and all the damn champagne in his memoir. If I could give a super chat to you for that comment, Church Nelly, I would. It's now up to 7,000. Oh, is that the article? Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, my gosh, they're obsessed. They're obsessed with the ones who are on the other side of the Atlantic. Um, yes, Andreen, thumbs up, thumbs up. We're almost at 900. Whew. Well done, guys and dolls. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, I think I'm almost at the bottom of your comments. Oh. Resistors, I'm happy to be spending the singles awareness day with my fellow squaddies. I'm happy to be spending it with you too. But you know what? Better to be single and happy than to be with someone and miserable. Because I know a lot of people who are with people and they're absolutely miserable and they're just lying to themselves. Yeah, Denise. Megan's probably been to like 20 to 30 football games. Nothing new to her. And she also did that charity ball game with Serena. Forgot to bring up the picture of that one, but um, my girl has had a lifetime of football games. Going forward, let's see how the Tabloids will treat her. What, treat Eugenie? I don't know. I don't know if Eugenie even cares. She's forging her own path now, so. Okay, I'll try and catch up with your comments in a little bit, but on to the next thing. Yeah, the differences in how they were treating um Meghan and Kate. And we've seen this so many times, with the whole thing about the avocados, and there was that whole BuzzFeed article, but it still continues. And you can see the difference in the way Kate's story night was treated. And that's an article by Victoria Arbiter, the one that lied. I mean, they all lie, but she was part of that group of tabloid journalists who got caught lying about the Oprah interview, but coming out with an article saying, or basically praising Kate. And you can see the way they spun when Meghan read a story. The book Meghan read to Archie has a heartbreaking backstory. I mean, and this is in relation to the video that was released of Meghan reading to Archie when they were still at Tyler Perry's house. I mean, Duck Duck Rabbit is just a nursery rhyme story. Like, who gives a flipping F about the backstory of the story? Meghan was just reading a sweet story to her son. It's a well-known story, and they just had to try and turn it into something negative. So I love these in a way because we can keep the receipts and just show the difference in how they treat how they treat Kate versus how they treat Meghan for doing the exact same thing. And also, I don't know if I may have missed it, guys and dolls, but okay, I have actually forgotten. Oh, actually, no, I haven't forgotten to put it. Yeah, the American media is not backing down. As you can see from this cover, they are going full speed ahead with the story about the rose bushes, and this is, I think, maybe the third or fourth cover I've seen from an American tabloid talking about the situation in the rose bushes. I have to wonder if they are rethinking coming to the US, because obviously the American press, they're not backing down. So there's going to be that one rogue journalist that just goes for it and asks the question. I'm so sure of it. Levy, Ball did not dare give Rose today, no way. No, I don't think Catherine got roses. She probably got, I don't know, lilies Definitely not peonies because those are Meghan's favourite. Sure, Meghan got peonies. The Rock, on the American side, are some pushovers to secure contracts and not have to worry over finance loss. They're straddling on the fences to see what clicks. A very slippery slope for these parasites. Yeah, they need to just stay away from the US, in my opinion. Yes, True for Dilly. Okay, you agree with me. The corgis would be great. Just send the corgis to the US. It will be cute. Everybody will laugh. But please do not send the gruesome twosome. Especially with Prince Andrew's court case. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like they're trying so desperately uh, to 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 chase after the American audience. I mean, why? Why now? Why are you so interested in the American audience now? We know the reason why, because they're obsessed with everything that Harry and Meghan do. But it's just too late. Yes, Ginger, why waste your life just waiting for a crown? Charles has no ambition whatsoever. This is pathetic. Hope the Queen lived to be 100 plus. No, the Queen sends out letters like when you turn 100. Yeah, they're discussing his memoir just like they did before the Oprah interview, and they have absolutely no idea what's going to be in it. I would love for Harry and Meghan to give a big juicy donation to the UK people, taxpayers, basically returning the cost of the wedding to shut the mouths of the haters. That would be amazing. I can see where you're coming from, but I would have to say no to this one only because I don't see why they should have to pay back when nobody else has. And when Meghan's presence as a woman of colour was used to make the royals look progressive, they used her as basically PR to make themselves look progressive when they never were. Thank you very much to Lady Foot who bought me a coffee that came up in my emails. It's not going to come up on the super chat because it's a different platform, but thank you, Lady Foot, for the 3 coffees that you bought me. So no, I totally see where you're coming from, Melita, but I just think that keep the same energy for everyone, and the biracial princess should not have to pay back her wedding fee. Um, Lisa Marr, never mind the cost of a future coronation. Jubilee is happening just at the time when all the inquests take place this year. Beggars believe. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Like they cannot read the room. And how many times have I said, guys and dolls, that I can absolutely guarantee you that there will be protests at that Jubilee because you're going to have the royalists who, um, sorry, the Republicans, not the royalists, the Republicans who want to see the monarchy go, and then you're also going to have a group of people, and there are a very big group of people, mind you, in the UK who never wanted any lockdowns at all. They were completely against lockdowns in the UK, and this is quite a sizable group of people. I'm not going to get into whether they were right or wrong, but they exist, and I think for that group of people to see this big Jubilee go ahead is going to absolutely set them off. So I'm really gearing up for a situation where we do see Jubilee celebrations possibly clashing with protests. I think that's very possible. Lizzie, with H book, he doesn't have to say a word. It could be blank pages. It sold itself because the royal rats and the so-called family are tearing themselves apart, not knowing what's in it. Yep. And they always just tell on themselves, don't they? Um, yeah, Avery, everything in the UK is going up. People can't afford much, but Meghan is their concern. Go figure. Oh, do you know what, guys and dolls? I'm so excited for the day that I leave. I promise you, it's not going to be on this channel. I'll probably post it on my travel channel that I have because I think it's going to be more appropriate there. But I am literally going to vlog me packing my final bags, me packing the final boxes, me going to the airport, and me landing in my new country. I'm going to film and vlog every single part and publish it for you to see. Um, Gonna absolutely enjoy that day. I have a special outfit planned that I'm going to wear for that day, like my own like Meghan freedom dress. I'm gonna wear the day that I leave this island. It's not green, but it looks good. Yes, Black Queen, jubbly when people are starving and homeless. Bellissima, the TikTok coronation. Well, it's definitely gonna appeal to the kids, won't it? If they have a TikTok coronation, we're gonna know where they got it from now. Okay, let's get through. How much? Robert Collins, how much will the Queen's funeral cost? Just asking for a friend. I don't know, but it's probably going to be a lot because you will also have heads of states from other countries coming in. So it's going to be a lot. And I'm actually going to I'll go through the protocol not on the channel but I'll maybe just mention it in passing in another video, but just like the whole protocol of kind of what happens when she does die. I know that there's some kind of alert that's set up on BBC and all of the main like UK channels stop telecasting and all of this stuff that happens. I think the stock exchange might actually shut down for a day. So it's actually going to cost the economy a lot of money when she does die. I don't know why they have to shut down the stock exchange, but I hear that they do that, and businesses will be asked and encouraged to shut down. It's just absolutely insane to me. Um, but yeah, it's not just gonna cost the taxpayer money when she dies. It could potentially also cost the economy when she dies. So if we're gonna tally up the full funeral costs, it was gonna be a big number. Yeah, Benjamin, we're gonna see the true colours when the Queen is gone. I mean, we saw the true colours when Philip died. 100,000 complaints to the BBC. I don't think they were expecting that. Jeanette, I've always had a distaste for William, even when he was little. There was always something about him that just rubbed me the wrong way. He has no charisma. Well, if you've been told from the time that you were born that you're going to be the king of the United Kingdom and all the Commonwealth realms, can you imagine what that would do to your ego? You're going to have a bigger ego than Kanye on the cover over here with Kim. Yeah, Church Nelly, everything is going up except for wages and salaries. And people like actually laugh at me when I say I'm a prepper and that I keep long-term food storage and precious metals. Like this is exactly like the evidence is on the slide that I had before why you should be doing that. So I'm not insane. For me, why should the coronation cost so much? They have the venue, the carriage already, the jewels. It costs a lot because of security. That's one of the main reasons why. Security, all of the staff that they have to bring in. I'm pretty sure all of the Queen's guards, and there's several different regiments will probably come in as well. They all have to be paid. All of the clothing that they wear, it's the whole coordinating the whole thing. Like it's a lot. If you go back and watch the Queen's coronation, you'll understand why it costs a lot. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to speed past more and more of your comments just so we can get to the end. Yes, Mary, those Jubilee plates will be collector's items because they're messed up. I guarantee you the plates with the messed up writing will be worth more than the actual official Jubilee plates. I actually do want one of those Jubilee plates. Okay, so yes, I also had this that I found. So remember the other day when Emily Andrews started singing like a canary? Well, somebody pointed out that that wasn't actually the first time that Emily Andrews has basically outed the firm. And somebody tweeted Emily this Tamron Brown and said, "So let us know once and for all. Do the tabloids control the royal family, or do the royal family control the tabloids?" And Emily Andrews responded, "Good question. I think it's a highly nuanced bit of both situation, but currently the power lies with the palace on the tabloids precisely because H&M cut them out. I understand why H&M did that, but an unforeseen result was that it handed Clarence House, Kensington Palace, and even Buckingham Palace more control." I don't agree with her on that because now that there are no leaks from Montecito, Harry and Meghan have a lot more control over their narrative. I think maybe what she means is that um, Kensington Palace, Clarence House, and Buckingham Palace can um, collaborate with the press more to maybe print more spin about Harry and Meghan. But when it comes to what's going on with Harry and Meghan in their private lives, there's no more of the leaks, if that makes sense. So Emily Andrews goes on to say, "Thanks, Jane. I remember one very senior courtier asking me, 'Is this the hill you want to die on?' when I was going to run a piece about a senior or royal that she or he didn't want in the paper. The paper wanted the palace's help, so the piece didn't run. Standard. And if you play nice and give a particular royal good coverage, etc., well, then the paper and or journalist is rewarded with access or information." So we know this. This is the not so invisible, visible contract. This happens all the time in politics, etc. It's not surprising. But I also think people need to look specifically as to why these things happen and when. She then goes on to say, a few thoughts on how the monarchy deal with the press. It is, of course, both deeply personal and deeply manufactured. The monarchy, as an institution, um, would like us only to write positive things about them, but grudgingly accepts that is not our job. Press releases, social media, all try to paint a positive image, but it is also there to inform the general public. A couple of years ago, Prince William was pretty upset with me. I'd called him a hypocrite for launching saving wildlife initiatives the same week as going big game shooting. More seriously, I'd called Will's work shy. So the fact that she's actually saying that Prince William was pretty upset with her, so they're definitely in communication with these journalists. So she goes on to say, "I'd called Will's work shy, and that he didn't want to take on his full-time royal role, stay in Amner Hall with his wife and kids, doing his air ambulance job, not step up. It was true, but also pretty hurtful. His press secretary, in effect, tried to get me sacked for writing it." So, how did William react? He sought me out at a tour drinks reception. I defended my position. He defended his. I know he was hurt, but he has always spoken to me since and has been charming. And I hope I have been charming back. I respected him for taking me on. We're all human. And then she says, lastly, so I guess my point is that throwing a tantrum never works. Engagement is always better than fighting. Jaw, not war. The relationship between press and monarchy is never easy. We can be cruel, unfair, and yes, get things wrong. But we always strive to get it right, like the royals. So you know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like an abusive relationship. This sounds like an abusive relationship. This is not normal and this is not okay. Um, you've just got two sides that you never really know how the other is really going to react. Because to be honest with you, the press can just write anything nasty as and when they want, and the royals just kind of have to put up with it. Now, sometimes those nasty things are actually quite true. Work shy Will. Yes, he was work shy. But it's just interesting to see how they kind of dance with each other when these situations happen. Hmm. Okay, back to your comments. Mhm. Okay. Yes, Rock. Of course, the Met Police will be in full attendance. The most corrupt, racist, misogynistic bunch of that country. They need head honcho has been booted out. Yes, Cressida Dick was booted out, and rightfully so. Oh my god, Black Queen, the royalists should bury themselves alive with old Betty when she passes, like how the ancient Egyptians and Aztecs, Mayans and Incas would do for their pharaohs and chiefs. As a thought, I mean, they love her so much. Wouldn't they consider that an honor? Mm, um, Dividilly, yes, this is tea, all the tea. And some of these tweets are actually back. They go back last year. Sorry, no, they go back to 2020, but they only just resurfaced now because of what Emily Andrews said the other day. Yes, I dislike Emu also. Emily is not getting more info from KP. She connived with one of the most hateful trolls in Britain to harass Meghan during her travel to New York for her baby showers. More of her interference on H&M. Yes, they're all going to get their comeuppance. Yes, McAfee. They can be cruel. Journalism isn't about being cruel. It's about being fair and impartial, which the royal rodents are not. They never have been. Why has Emily gone rogue? Because she's freelance now. That's why. Joyce, Emily's talking out of both sides of her mouth. She's still the same woman who wrote a detailed account of a baby shower that hadn't even occurred. Very true. She's desperate to be back in the fold. Oh, she blew her chances. I've watched both Emily Andrews and Camilla Tominey in interviews, and Emily Andrews is the type of person who I think she's a very cold-hearted, but not as cold-hearted. If we're looking at it on different levels, 10 being like the most cold-hearted, I would put Emily around 7.5, whereas I'd put Camilla Tominey at like 10. And so I feel like Camilla Tominey is more cut out for this type of life and this type of role in a way that Emily Andrews is not. And that's why Camilla Tominey is in the position that she's in, shaking hands with Prince Andrew, and Emily Andrews is not. Oh, good night for everybody who's clocking out. Thank you so much for coming. Amal, the royal family put out a statement about the free press when that document about the two princes came out. We know it was bull. What Emily Andrews says further solidifies it. Absolutely. Um, and this is exactly what you've said: an abusive relationship. Who wants to live this way? They wanted H&M to accept this nonsense and hold their lives hostage forever. Insanity. And not just their lives, also the lives of the children, because the children get sucked up into this. And the children often get used as a shield, especially when their parents mess up. Okay, so that's that. And I think I I only had like a couple more slides. Gosh, I've been going on. I think this is gonna be like one of the longest podcasts I've done. We're almost at the end, folks. Almost at the end. Um. Okay. I think I already talked about the whole debacle with Camilla testing positive for Mr. C, but I just wanted to touch on this. A lot of articles going around saying that Harry and Meghan are declaring war on Camilla over the deafening silence over the Queen Consort title. I don't know how you can declare war on someone when you're silent, but I thought it was also worth pointing out that actually nobody else in the royal family has actually commented on Camilla being given the title of Queen Consort. Um, William and Kate have not commented. Anne has not commented. The Wessexes have not commented. I don't even think any of the other international royals from other countries have commented. Nobody has commented. So why do they want Harry and Meghan to comment when nobody else has? Gwendolyn, trying to listen and cook at the same time. Really enjoying the podcast. Oh, thank you. What are you cooking? Anything nice? Chicken? Salmon? Yeah, the royal reporters, they pretty much own the crazy family. It's just such a strange thing to have to do this weird dance with a bunch of people who you clearly don't like and could drag all the skeletons out of your closet in a moment's notice. It's a very weird existence. Okay. And yeah, just for jokes, one other thing that I came across on Twitter. So Anne Boleyn, who's awesome as usual, spotted this. She said that in Carolyn Graham's 1994 book, Camilla, the King's Mistress, she included a reconstructed photo of what Camilla and Charles's wedding might have looked like. So here it is. If Camilla had actually married Charles, now we know what it would have looked like. If they hadn't dragged poor Diana into their dramas and just got her married themselves. Here's what those beautiful wedding pictures would have looked like. And with that, I think that we are pretty much done. Don't think I have anything else. Let me just double check that I have not missed anything. Nope, that is literally everything. So I'll just get through the final comments, and I think with that, we shall call it a night. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Let's look at beautiful Diana in that stunning dress of hers. Diana is our Valentine, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much for new members, all of the super chats and donations. Always appreciate it, guys and dolls. Thank you for your comments. And yeah, let's get through the final comments and then we will log out. And happy Valentine's. Love to everyone. Thank you, Kay Castillo. Joyce, Will is unable to comment because he's probably incandescent with rage. His wife can't comment because she can't speak. Crystal, yes, love and happiness is the meaning of life. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Yeah, hello. I hope that Harry and Meghan can continue to keep their silence, and if that's what they want to do, of course. I think they know that we miss them, but we also respect their space, and they are busy. Like they are busy creating stuff for their fans and for people who do like them. And I'm sure we have plenty of amazing material to look forward to this year. Pearl, the Archwell podcast. So thank you so much, Bonnie, for coming along. Happy Valentine's to you as well. But this has been one of my favorite podcasts that I've done, actually. I really enjoyed today. Thank you so much, Lydia, Black Queen. Oh, thank you to you all. Okay, who's gonna get the last word? Who is gonna get the last word? Yes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, cookies and cream. I'm gonna give you the last word. Everyone, stay safe and happy and hydrate. And let's get ready to dance in 5, 4, 3, 2. Bye bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.